Let's talk about that little device in your pocket. You know, the one you're probably holding right now. We think of it as just a tool, but it's become something more, hasn't it? It feels like, well, like an extension of our own minds. And I'm here to tell you that feeling, that's not an accident.
Has this ever happened to you? You feel it, that distinct buzz in your pocket. You're sure you just got a message. So you reach for it, you pull it out, and nothing. The screen is black, no notification. If you felt that, you're not going crazy. You're actually experiencing something very, very real. It has a name, phantom vibration syndrome. And get this, an incredible 89% of us have felt it. This isn't your phone malfunctioning, it's your brain. Your brain has literally started to think of your phone as a part of your body, like another hand or a foot. It's constantly scanning for a signal from it, just like it would for an itch on your arm. So where does this weird neurological connection lead? Well, it leads here, to this number, 150. That's the number of times the average person checks their phone every single day. If you sleep for 8 hours, that's like once every 6 minutes of your waking life. But here's the key. This isn't just a bad habit. It's by design. You see, that constant struggle to put your phone down, that's not a personal failure. It is, in fact, a massive design success. Because every little part of your phone's experience, from the colors to the sounds, is engineered to hook you using psychological tricks you'd probably never notice.
Let's start with a really simple question. Have you ever stopped to wonder why that little notification bubble, the one with a number in it, is always red? Why that specific color?
Well, the reason is purely biological. Our brains are hardwired from thousands of years of evolution to see red and immediately think one of two things: danger, like fire or blood, or opportunity, like a ripe piece of fruit. Either way, it puts our brain on high alert. App designers know this. They've tested it. If they made those notifications a nice calming blue or green, click rates would drop by 40%. They are literally using your own survival instincts against you.
But it goes so much deeper than just color. There was a psychologist, B.F. Skinner, who discovered something fascinating. If you give a lab rat a treat every single time it presses a lever, it eventually gets bored. But if the treat comes out randomly, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, the rat becomes absolutely obsessed. It'll press that lever all day. Sound familiar? Every time you pull down to refresh your social media feed, you are pulling the handle on a slot machine. You have no idea what you're going to get. And that uncertainty, that is the engine of addiction.
You know, out in the real world, we have things that tell us when to stop. The end of a page in a book, the bottom of a bowl of popcorn. They're called stopping cues. But the digital world is designed to get rid of them. Check out this crazy experiment. Researchers gave people a bowl of soup that was secretly refilling itself from a tube under the table.
So what happened? The people with the bottomless bowl ate 73% more soup than everyone else. But here's the kicker. They didn't feel any more full or satisfied. That bottomless bowl of soup? That is your social media feed. The infinite scroll is designed to never, ever end, so your brain never gets that crucial signal that it's time to stop.
Okay, so these design tricks are clearly very, very effective. But what's the actual biological cost? I mean, what is really happening inside our brains and our bodies when we get hooked on this stuff?
Let's talk about light for a second. Specifically, blue light with a 450 nanometer wavelength. This is the exact frequency of light from the sun at high noon. It sends a powerful, ancient signal to your brain that says, "Wake up, be alert, it's the middle of the day."
And that exact same wavelength is precisely what's beaming into your eyeballs from your phone screen at 2 in the morning. You are essentially telling your brain it's lunchtime when it's the middle of the night. This shuts down the production of melatonin, your sleep hormone, for up to 3 hours. You're not scrolling because you can't sleep. You literally can't sleep because you're scrolling. You've given yourself digital jet lag.
And it's not just your sleep that's taking a hit. It's your ability to think deeply. See, when you feed your brain a constant diet of these 15-second, high-intensity videos, you physically retrain it. It adopts to crave these short, rapid-fire bursts of information. It's called cognitive thinning. The mental muscle you use for deep focus, the one you need to read a book or have a long, meaningful conversation, it starts to atrophy. It just wastes away from lack of use.
And all of this leads to a really strange and profound paradox. We have never, ever been more connected to more people in the history of the world. And yet somehow, we are also experiencing the highest rates of loneliness ever recorded. I mean, how is that even possible?
It's possible because we're swapping social nutrients for social junk food. See, a real face-to-face conversation is incredibly rich with data. tiny little facial movements called microexpressions that build real trust and empathy. Social media replaces all of that with the empty calories of a two-dimensional like. It gives you a little hit of reward without any of the actual nourishment, leaving you feeling kind of full, but secretly starving for a real connection.
This whole phenomenon has become so common, there's even a word for it: phubbing, phone snubbing. And studies have shown that just having a phone sitting on the table between two people, even if it's turned off, lowers the quality of the conversation and the amount of empathy they feel for each other. The phone becomes this silent third party in the room, just sitting there, signaling that at any second, something inside that little black box could be more important than the person sitting right in front of you.
Okay, I know, that was all pretty bleak, but here's the really important part. Your brain is not fixed. It's plastic. It can be rewired. So the question is, how do you fight back? How do you take back control of your own mind from the hijackers?
Well, one really powerful way to start is with a 72-hour dopamine fast. That means no phone, no screens for 3 full days. Now, it's not going to be easy. The first day, you'll feel it. The boredom, the anxiety, that's withdrawal. The cravings will probably peak around the 48-hour mark. But if you can push through to hour 72, something incredible happens. Your brain's dopamine receptors actually start to recalibrate. Food tastes better, music sounds richer. The real world, the analog world, literally starts to look more colorful again.
Now, if a full fast feels like too much, here are a few things you can try. Switch your screen to grayscale. It completely kills that red notification trigger and can cut screen time by 1/3. It's amazing. Turn off every single notification that doesn't come from a real human being. And for the truly committed, there's this growing movement of people called the analog elite who are switching back to old-school dumb phones. Why? Because in a world where everyone is always available, being unavailable is the new luxury. It's the new status symbol.
But to really understand why all this matters, we need to talk about the ultimate price we're paying. We need to talk about time. So, let's just do the math. By 2026, the average screen time is projected to be over 7 hours a day. That's basically a full-time job for most people.
Now, if you zoom out, that 7 hours a day adds up to 106 full 24-hour days every single year spent just looking at a screen. That's more than 3 entire months of your life, every year, gone.
But here it is. Here's the number that really matters. Over a 50-year adult lifespan, that screen time adds up to almost 15 years. 15 years of your one and only life spent staring into a little black mirror.
So, the final question really isn't about technology at all. It's about your life. Think about it. What could you do with an extra 15 years? You could master an instrument, learn half a dozen languages, build a business, travel the entire world. The time is there. It's yours. The only question is, what are you going to choose to do with it?